We are back, and the morning ritual for guitar growth is starting right now. And so I would encourage you to stick around because it's going to be a lot of fun. A total good time. So good morning to you, and good morning to your guitar. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for spending a couple of great minutes yesterday. It was so good to catch up with you yesterday. I really appreciate that and taking the time to do that. With just, I'm very thankful that anybody spends any time doing anything useful. We were talking about that at basketball practice last night. So the fact that there are still community like basketball, blah, blah, blah. So let's talk about some guitar. How was your guitar day yesterday? We've got Mr. G in the house early on. We've got the coffee rolling, or whatever you're drinking this morning. Putting the hurt on the system. Or try to mitigate the hurt on the system, right? Up this morning for some reason singing a meatball song, and no, meatloaf song. Meatball song. I swear to God, I'm awake, you know. It kind of feels like I'm not really there yet. You know, I'm not saying I actually ever get there, but I'm working on it. Today I'd like to talk about I'd like to continue our discussion here on, I have a couple of things I wanted to talk about, like how the late great Mr. Joe Pass talks about chordal embellishments. So this will be a really great session to stick around for, so don't go away. Yeah, good morning, Brother Haas. Part of my tuning process in the morning. So what you're seeing when I'm sort of like dancing around on the guitar is just checking the guitar at different intervals across the guitar neck to see what we have for intervallic structures that remain what I like to call intact as we up and down the neck. So stuff like this, I'll tell you what, the higher end guitar voicings, especially with the open G string, these sound great in cathedrals. Do you ever have a chance to go bring your guitar to a basilica, or you know, a really nice ambient space, and just I would recommend those intervals. Are just so fun to play and so delicate, but sound responds so well to reverb. All right, let's go ahead and take a look. We're starting with the 1, 2, 3, 4s because we're going to continue to push along. We're pushing ahead. While I mention that, let me go ahead and get this link for you in the live chat. Excuse me. Thank you kindly for your patience. We're going to do this over here because I can't seem to add comments on that other rig. And this is your free morning ritual for guitar growth. It's your free binder. I'm pinning this to the live chat. So if you're sticking out, if you're hanging out with us, good morning, Jill. Good morning, Jill Bourgeois. Good morning. Robbie's here in the house. We have Lex G, Mr. G's in the house, Mr. Smith's in the house, Miss Bourgeois in the house. Oh, Kit Kat's back. Good morning. Do you do setups on your own guitars or get someone to do it? Both. I prefer to do it myself, but I have a really good, a really great friend I've been working with a long time to do. He's a really wonderful technician, and he doesn't do this a whole lot publicly anymore, but he still has me over to his place, and he still invites me in, and we sit and talk about the finer points of guitar. So it's certainly fun to become really good at what you do in any craft, but guitar players are always looking for a really good, like, solid technician, like a good solid guitar tech, and they can be hard to come by. So if you're thinking about learning something new on the side, what a great skill and great trade to have. Yeah. Hey, just wanted to know Jesus loves you. Hey man, good morning, bandana board. Is that a skateboard reference? Let's go ahead and start with fingers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're going to work through all of these 4-finger wonders, and we're starting here because we don't have, we want to get a little further beyond where we usually find ourselves as we start moving along into 2026. We're going to, I'm going to risk, we did have this discussion a little bit yesterday, Kevin, right? I'm going to risk alienating some of us because I might be talking about things that are too difficult to just get on the fly without diagrams, but we will have diagrams as we come into the next part of the year. So this will be an exciting addition to the morning ritual for guitar growth. This really is not a clinic. What this is a warm-up. So we want to, if we do want to learn the things that I personally walk through every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. If you love to play along, we would all love to have you play along with us. Excuse me. And if that means you want to download this free morning ritual for guitar growth binder, you're more than welcome to do that right here in the live chat. It's free, and all you need to do is trade your, I suppose you trade a little information for it. We do not, I'll give you the obligatory, we do not sell any of our data to any other third parties, second parties, first parties. We don't sell it anyway, period. This is specifically for us, ourselves, to just grow together as a team of guitar practitioners, okay? So it's very simple. We're not making a very big deal out of it, but if you want that information and you'd like to practice along with us, you can have it. It's yours for free. Okay, so go ahead and grab it, and then we'll start taking off in a few more minutes. Let's go ahead and get this 1, 2, 3 stretch 4 exercise rolling. This is a good one. Out of the next 2 exercises, this is my preferred exercise. Just moving through the 1, 2, 3 stretch 4. Skateboard reference, no kidding. First time someone noticed. I'll tell you what, the first time I saw Christian Hosoi, and the Powell Peralta team, the first time I saw those guys in Thrasher, I thought, man, I am so hooked on skateboarding. Like Stacy and those guys, George. I think the fact that the Powell and Peralta team decided to pull together a team to give young people something to do, something to compete, and another avenue for competition and growth and development. I think that's brilliant. But boy, didn't they sell a lot of skateboards. Yeah, I had a not as Coppice, I had the Greeley, I had the, oh geez, I had so many different skateboards because I worked at a skate shop. Yeah, I did. I worked at a skate shop in my juvenile years. I certainly did. That's another thing we talked about a little bit last night. About all of those things that local shop owners used to teach young people. Hey Dan, it's another magnificent day. It's another magnificent day. Amen, brother. Great to see you. Hey Dan, if you stick around, you can't see it because it's backwards, but you know who that is. He's got a cigar in hand, so that's, you know who that is, the great Joe Pass. We're talking about chord embellishments a little bit later today, so I don't know if you have time to stick, but we certainly appreciate seeing you here. I got a little further along on the old Kalamazoo, so that's going to make an appearance this week. So that's good to know, and I'm very excited for that, right? Let's take a look at the next 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. This is going to be the kickstand. So we're starting on 8, 10, 11, and 12. We're a little further along than we typically are, Dan, at this point in the morning ritual because we are sort of moving along from doing the 2-finger and 3-finger permutations at this point so that we can get ourselves launched into a little bit of the diatonic part of the program. We want to start working on diatonicism and start to welcome some ear training into the warm-up process. So this is important. This is important. But we're treating every single note as if it were the last note we could ever make. So every note means a great deal. And as you know, this just informs our ability to play and practice and especially perform songs at very high levels of connectedness and technical proficiencies. So let's stick around. We're going to talk Joe Pass today. We are doing Joe Pass today. We started trying to do that yesterday. Didn't quite make it, but we're going to make it today, by golly. Without dilly-dally. Love Joe Pass signature. Oh wait, do you have one of those? I've always loved that Ibanez. What a great guitar. Yeah, what a beautiful guitar. It seems like I had a really nice jazz box. I had a few really nice jazz boxes. Take a look at this one. It was a Washburn, just like the regular, sort of like with one floating pickup on the neck. I traded my Ibanez Gem77 FP for that, and I've been emotionally destroyed ever since. You know, I spent 2 years as a 14-year-old, got a worker's permit to go get this $2,000 guitar that's now worth 14 grand, and I traded it for a junker Washburn, a junker arch top, just so I could get through jazz school. And so I do really kick myself. It was the flower one, that the cartons that Steve Vai's mom used to have in her kitchen, in her house. So I do kick myself for that. Another one that I had that never cut the mustard was the Gibson Custom Shop. It was the Custom Shop. It was a historic instrument. It was the ES446, and it was a blonde one. If you can find one for a reasonable price, I'll tell you what, that was the best guitar, best sounding and best playing guitar, but once I get up in here, I could never get the fretboard right, and I could never find a tech to get the fretboard right. It was sort of a defective guitar. Something happened, and it just would never work correctly. And I don't remember exactly what the issue was, but I ended up letting it go down the road, and now those are, they're hard to find, but those jazz boxes are great to have kicking around. And I've always admired I've had some Ibanez jazz boxes, one of which I turned into a fretless guitar. Now our friend in Abu Dhabi has it. All right, so we've got fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4, but this time we're going to do a little bit of finger stretch between fingers 2 and 3, so that's the nanu nanu. So 1 E and 2 E and T E and so it's 8, 9, 11, and 12. Gotta tell you the truth, this is not one of my favorite exercises, but it does work months into this. This will really change the fret hand. Hey Matt, good morning. Mr. Ruffin, you're awesome, man. Wow. Stay blessed. Yeah, I'm working on it. You too. We have another few minutes before we jump on into some chord embellishment style playing from the late great Joe Pass. We're just going to absorb some of these techniques and some of these ideas for about the last 15 minutes of this morning ritual session. Yeah, it was, I'm still like Lex, I'm still like about the RE, the Gem77 FP. The inside of the guitar case was pink, and it was just the same color as the pickups, One day I'll find it. I'll do some research and get the exact one, relocate the exact one that I had. One day when I'm rich and famous. But I really, it's like I'm assuming it's similar to losing a limb or something. And I'm really sick over it, dude. Like I don't like to talk about it a whole lot, and I definitely don't want to whine about it. But I'll tell you what. I'm definitely illin' over it. This guitar makes me want to play like Jimmy Page acoustic guitar. Thinking about it completely derailed me there for a couple of moments. So let's move on. All right, so let's take a look at the diagonal patterns, if you wouldn't mind. But come along with me. We've got this really nice 1, 2, 3, 4. I certainly appreciate that, Lex. I certainly do appreciate it. Question, Greenberry. You know, another guitar that's really cool that I wouldn't mind having another copy of was it was this Fender Deluxe Strat Plus from like the 90s, right? And it had the red, white, and blue lace sensor pickups in it. I'll tell you what, and the Wilkinson roller nut or ball, it was the ball bearing nut and the Wilkinson tremolo. And it had the little trem setter in the back. I'll tell you what, that guitar was absolutely a stunner. That guitar sounded so good. And that's another, it had a maple neck. The maple neck really really cut the mustard. I'm going to speed it up a little bit for myself so I can get a little bit more of a sort of a technical workout. But you do you, and just be comfortable playing at your tempo. And that's it. You know, that's all we need to do. And now what I should do is just come to just a brief stretch. So let's go ahead and do that now. So 1 E and 2 E. So 1, 2, T, Fo, measure 2. I do 4 bars, and then 3, 2, T, Fo. Let's try one of these. Let's go ahead and see what's going on. Any artist, living or dead, you want to see perform live. Let's go ahead. Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. And then we have 1, 2, T, Fo, 2, 2. We're in the middle of our stretch now, but we're taking responses for in the live chat from this answer. You can actually click on the button and answer. I think I don't know if that's how it works. I don't really know. I've never pressed it, so can I answer it this way? Oh yeah, put you right into the live chat. Got it. It'd help if I know what we're doing here. So, and then we have this 4, 2, T, Fo, and then we had good morning, pass. I'm missing some of these live chats. Sorry about that, guys. All right, good morning. Oh, yeah. Prince. Yeah. What a great performer. Tommy Emmanuel. You got to have a smile on your face when you're playing that stuff, right? You got to wear a smile. So there's that Purple Rain too. That just can't get away from that. I was at a concert one time. It was like a 1993 Fish concert. And we were always sort of front row. The whole band was always sort of front row and stuff. Now we're kind of friendly with Fishmen, and well, we're kind of friendly with neighborly, I think, with some. Anyway, so not the part of the point was that there's a song that they're playing next, and they're teasing the song. You know how they tease the song a little bit, and they covered Fish covered Purple Rain, and they nailed it. It was an early concert for them, and pretty raw, you know. So the security guy in front of us, as soon as he realized what song it was, he turned around and he like laughed, and he couldn't believe what he was hearing. He was so excited about it. Just a cool little experience, you know. So Prince crosses the boundaries, you know. Jimmy H, yeah. Esports, good morning. Esports. Is it still sort of like getting all jingly? looks like the internet's really not working that well. I know the glitches are on my end, but I'm going to just continue so we can get through this morning. Okay, so we're back in business, Dan. All right. I'd like to do like some 4-on-6 and that kind of stuff, like the some more like I don't know where that literature is. Some West Montgomery. So do we have 4-on-6 in here? West Coast Blues, you know, that's kind of a cool tune. So yeah, we're starting to talk about like hard, you know, bop, post bop, bebop, hard bop, post bop, you know, and those things. Yeah, there's some stuff in there that we probably should be covering. Definitely some West stuff coming up. I hadn't even thought of covering any West stuff really on the channel. I did earlier on. I had done the, you know, the West Sundown, you know. That one, which you've probably seen. What is it? Yeah. Just some jazz blues stuff. Jazz blues is a good place to be too, you know. So, but let's kind of get with the program with the major scale, and then we'll, in the next about 10 minutes, we'll start converting over to the Joe Pass segment. If the stream health is doing okay, if we're able to stream again, just keep streaming. If it glitches anymore, what I'm going to do is just continue to, I'm just going to continue to reach the end at 8:30, and hopefully we can meet there together. But in another 10 minutes or so, we're going to start talking about Joe Pass style chord embellishments. Were super easy, and in the meantime, I'm just going to work through the major scale sequence through the cycle of 4. And if you would like to, if you're not familiar with all of these patterns just yet, you can go ahead and download the free tablature, and it's a complete morning ritual for guitar growth lesson binder here, which has everything in it. It contains everything that you need in order to play along on these morning ritual adventures. So go ahead and get that, it's free. So we're starting with the major scale. You can watch if you like and listen. And just observing how I do this can be valuable. So I'm working through the arpeggios of the major scale as well. So we start with the major 7. So we have that all of the 7th chord arpeggios, including the 2 minor, and then including the 5 dominant. of that chord, right? And then 7 diminished 7, which is, of course, a reharmonization of the 5 dominant. So I like to do all of these. I'm not going to do all of these today. I'm just going to continue moving on to F major 7 and play through the F major 7 chord scale. And I call it the F major 7 chord scale because it's the F major 7 chord, and it's the same at the atomic level, at the quantum level. The chord and the scale are one and the same, aren't they? And then what we want to do later on is patternize all these, but right now we're just making it through C major, and then F major, and then B flat major. Did I see Matico here? Matico Dillard, yeah, right on. Yeah, the metronome is just for ambience. Yeah, that's a good question. Yep, Austin, good question. Yep, wise guy. So let's go ahead and take a look at, I know where you're going with that. All right, I might have been born at night, but it wasn't last night. So let's take a look at figures. So we're moving between the B flat major to the E flat major, and I'll go ahead and play that E flat major chord, or this top end of it right here, and then we'll start 1 E and a 2 E and a T E and a 4, and then descend. Scales, bullets, fillers, loving it. All right, so then we're moving up to the A flat major 7, and I'm just working through this little sequence here, going through the A flat major scale, or the A flat major 7 chord scale. So you heard the A flat major 7 chord there, and then we could use all of the diatonic 7th chords that go along with it, blah blah blah. But it's a lot to talk about right now. Download the free Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth binder, and then you can learn the tablature for free and join us, and we can warm up together. That's the best way to do it, I think. Like prayers, yeah, amen. That's a great way to express that. Very cool idea. And then we're moving from A flat to D flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we have a full octave on the top. We'll stay in the position though, and then we're moving up to G flat major 7. So we have probably this shape, right? And if you're just joining us, you can download the binder, and then there's that. You can learn all of the patterns and jump in with us and practice this with us. We'll have these up and running in a few weeks, where I can just kind of overlay the patterns on the screen. But it's more important for you maybe to just, if you're here now watching this for the first time, just absorbing what it actually looks like to do the work. That way when you download the binder for free, you can kind of have a recollection of what it looked like and what I think it should sound and feel like. And it should be flowing, it should be just comforting, it's going to take a little bit of time to get these shapes up and running. I mean, I'm not going to lie, it's not something that you're just going to do overnight. Maybe you're a protege and you're the prodigal son or daughter. Oh, someone just sent some makeup brush. Cool, that's funny. No divide and conquer here. Fantastic. No, it's a real pig scramble to get all of these things sort of like, it's like scrambled eggs on the skillet. You know what I mean? We've got a big skillet. You got the olive oil. I use butter on a steel skillet if we're doing the griddle. Olive oil tends to cook too fast, and it just cooks a different way. Like the butter on the skim coated real butter under the eggs, and then the eggs are just kind of like, they come together over time, but you can't rush them. If you want the perfect egg, scrambled egg, any perfect egg, eggs are so difficult. They seem easy after you get the hang of it, right? But when you're learning to cook a scrambled egg for the first time, like a really good high-end, high-quality scramble, it can be a little overwhelming, and you're burning stuff and you're throwing the pan and the trash can. But it can be overwhelming, and there's no doubt this can absolutely be overwhelming. So we're at G flat major 7, and then finally we're only have this one more shape, which is C flat or B major 7, right? That's the best part, Austin, is about music, is you can go in whatever direction you choose. And the best part, you're not hurting anyone. Like, you can say whatever you want, you can play whatever you want. I think the guitar being a unique and intimate language, you can choose to become very intimate with it. Or you can select to do something else, But we can all be we're all guitar practitioners, but we all have our own sort of divergent approaches to how we get it done, right? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So all I want to do, let me walk you through this really quickly so you can see the whole thing. I just exhausted all the shapes. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different shapes, right? So we're going through 7 different shapes, starting with the C major scale. And right after this, stick around, because at about 2 more minutes, we're going to start talking about chord embellishment, Joe Pass style. So 1 and 2. I might speed it up so you can just get a survey of what is going on here, okay? Happens if you don't play the chord before you just start scrambling through the scale, you kind of lose a little bit of the tonicization. It could take us a second. This is the last shape, G flat major. really up to the C, you know, the next shape down, which is the place from the shape from whence we came. Right, so those are really good to know, and I like to incorporate those into my morning ritual, because I like to do those in a scalar sense. Also, and I like to introduce basic patternizations such as threes. So instead of 1, 2, 3, I use threes. So instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I'll go to the 1 and the 3, the back down to the 2, the 4, and then the 3, and then the 5, and then the 4, and then the 6, and then 7, back to the 5, 7, 6, 1, 7, 9, 1. Right. So I'm thinking in those terms. Right, and then so on and so forth through all of the patterns. I'm not going to do all of that at the moment, although next year we will be. So you definitely want this. This is really going to ace your game. And then I'd run the same program with fours. You know, I move up a fourth, back to the 2, up a 4, 3, up a 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just having some fun with it, and then fives, of course, and then we'd have sixes, and then sevens, and those things take time to come. They take time to assemble. They take time to scramble up and present with a little bit of, I don't know, you put oregano, fresh oregano on that, salt, pepper, fresh finishing salt, a little splash of maple syrup on the side, maybe, grade A Gilsons, you know, just good stuff. I'm more of a triad through the progression kind of guy. Yes, yeah, amen. Quantum, love it. Quality, loving it. What a blessing. Well, Gary, thanks for being here. I fully support stringent scale study. Yeah, amen. Amen. Nicholas Lenibsky, ringing a bell for anybody here? Nicholas Lenibsky, very famous chord book, almost as famous as Ted Green's Chord Chemistry. Part 1, harmony, chord. All right, here's what we're looking at. I just wanted to borrow a quick idea. I just wanted to borrow a really quick idea. We all know about chord construction. Let's just say that we have, you know, in the world of the major chord, since we're talking about triads here, we have the major chord. The major chord is the Cmaj7. So I'm just going to chunk along. This is how chord embellishment can really impact what we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. First of all, what I'm going to do is place that click. You can see, you can hear the metronome. We have our metronomic feature here. Our metronome is at 60 beats per minute, and all of a sudden these are going to be on 2 and 4. How do we get those on? We want these to be 2 and 4. 2, 4. So I just say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can try it too. This is a hard thing to get used to. A 1, a 2, a 2, and it gives you that sort of backbeat sort of swing that you're looking for, that sort of in the pocket feel. You know, you can get that 2 and 4 going. You've got a lot of stuff. It unlocks a lot of things for you. So if you can play that 1, 2, T, 4, 1, and 2, and T, and 4. I'm just going to chunk. I'm just going to comp quarter notes with an emphasis maybe on 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not changing, I'm not moving away to like D minors. Typically what we would do, we get bored, you know. So as songwriters, you know, we can have a lot of fun with that, but we're just kind of hanging out on one chord quality, the major chord. Now, whether we're using the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 1, I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I've got sunshine. That kind of thing is fun, but all we're talking about is embellishing one chord, and it could be the triad, or it could be adding one more note on top of that stack. So the 1, the 3, the 5, and then the 7, and you could do that right here in one position, which we just did. The whole point of what we just did and what we're going to do for another year together is get our positional games going. We've been spending all of 2025 doing these warm-ups, these morning ritual for guitar growth warm-ups, so we understand what it means to play a position. So for example, now I'm in 9th position with a 4th finger stretch, so that's an indicator that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frets that I can cover. And if I use a 1st finger stretch, I can cover 6 frets. Now I know 9th position is more than I ever thought it once could be. So that turns into, I can play the C major scale in one position of the guitar, practicing efficiency and maximizing tonal proficiencies. Or I could use a 3-note structure and then bring that scale all across the guitar neck in a symmetrical fashion. But I'm focusing more like an efficient position style player would. So we started in position number 5, or 8. All right, and then, or 7, we're actually in position 7 here, aren't we? But the second shape that we went up to was F major. And that's the same shape. You'll notice that's the same shape we're using for the C major scale. Right, that kind of, that's C6 in it. So we're talking about, instead of using 1, so let's put that back on 2 and 4. Let's jump back into the 2, 3, and 4, you know what to do. Let's say I get bored of just comping that C major 7. I've played it for a few nights in a row, a few dates in a row, and I'm probably going to piss off the band leader or upset the band leader if I decide to change it last minute. You know, we've been practicing it this way for 3 months. Now we've taken the show on the road and I get bored and I start playing the 6, you know. Band leader's not going to be pleased, you know. You just do what we practiced and keep the show together. Let's not go off the rails, pal. Let's just keep playing the same thing we've rehearsed for 3 months, getting the band tight. So 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we could use the C add 6. So instead of C, 5, 7, we have the root. We have the do, re, mi, fa, sol, or the 5, and then la, talk about this like we've been talking about this for a lifetime together. And eventually, if you stick around, you can hang with us, you know, if you decide to stick around. But it's going to be something that we break down together. And then instead of that 7 in the middle of the chord, 7, 1, I'm going to come down to 6. Now that 6 is 1, 5, 6. You know the sound, right? It's that, you know, it's that first, one of the first blues licks that we learned. That Western, you know, horsetail wagon. 2, 3, 4, 1. 1, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. We also could embellish that major 7 sound with a 6. We could embellish it with a C major 9, so we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that would be, you know, something like this: the root, the 3, the major 7, and then the 9, which is on the B string on fret number 3. So it's a crunchy little chord, but boy, oh boy, does it sound really good. I mean, it sounds great. And then we could convert that to a 6/9, placing the, you know, the root, the 3, the 6, the 9, and then the 5 on the top. Or we could turn it into a 7, indicating that we're going somewhere, right? Indicating that we're moving somewhere. Do you know any ZZ Top or Johnny Cash? I do. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, what are you talking about? Which one are you talking about? About? You know, I wrote a tune. You can go, thanks for asking about that. I wrote a song about, well, you can tell me what you think it's about. But if you look at Pinecone Records, you know, right here on YouTube, we wrote a song and produced a song with the editor for Modern Drummer magazine. I don't know if you were ever familiar with Modern Drummer magazine, but I wrote a song with him, with Mr. Scott K. Fish, and it was about whatever it was about. You can go find out if you want. But the guitar line is specifically like in the style of Billy Gibbons and in the style of his vocal approach, you know, that kind of right from that Grange school of thought. So if you want to check it out, it's called Private Person. You can take a look at Pinecone Records. It might be Pinecone Records USA. It's a yellow logo with a pinecone on. Private Person, Jason J. Carey, and let me know what you think about that guitar tone. That was done with an Axe Effects, it's a FX3, Axe Effects 3, and it was the fractal unit. For the guitar riff, it was just stock Logic Pro plugin. You know, so it sounded really good for just whatever comes with Logic Pro on the Mac. And then all of the lead guitar parts are done with the fractal. Yeah. Yep. So check it out. Let me know. That's it for today. We have our venerable Kevin Hawes coming up and saying, have a great day, everybody. Until tomorrow, as always, thank you. Thanks, Jason. You are most welcome, my friend. And thank you so much for being here with us this morning at Jason Carey Guitar on YouTube, and for this beautiful morning, this beautiful opportunity to make music together. And I really sincerely hope to see you again, and we can talk a little bit more about chord embellishments as time goes on. So I really appreciate you being here. So we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And until we meet again, I wish you happy picking.